What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and every few months I like to put together a video showing new and returning players how to farm for exotic weapons. Now, nothing has really changed in the game in regards to how to do that. However, one of the most commonly asked questions I get at the channel is what is the best way to farm exotics? Now, to be clear, we're talking about the ones you can find in the open world, not the raid exclusives, so today I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of your options. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And remember, we are currently having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on April 4th of this year. Now, there happen to be a lot of different things I want to go through, so we're just going to jump into it. Now, as most of you know, when you open up the map, and in this game, there are no shortages of ways you can possibly farm for exotics. You have missions, you have control points, you have bounties, you have a bunch of different things. However, there happen to be 3 opportunities on a weekly basis where you can get an exotic cache by completing some projects. So you can see here you have the weekly summit project, you have the weekly shade requisition, and if you have the ability, you also have the weekly legendary mission as well. Now, it is important to mention with these exotic caches, you have no idea what the loot is going to be. You could get 3 of the exact same things. You could get a weapon if you're looking for armor or vice versa. So again, it's luck of the draw, but it does give you an opportunity to hopefully get what you're looking for. Which now, my friends, brings us to the topic of targeted loot, which is one of the best aspects about this game in regards to farming. Now, we're going to start in the open world, and this is good for either DC or New York. Now, when you open up your map, you're going to see a prompt in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see it says show targeted loot. All you do is push up on the directional pad, and it is going to show you what is where on a specific day. So, for instance, when you look at these icons, you'll notice that there are both small and large icons. Now, the small icons represent gear or weapons that are locked behind a mission for that day, and the large icons are weapons or gear that are in the open world. So for instance, for the larger icons, you can go for named enemies, control points, different things like that. You have a lot of different options. One thing I want to make sure I mention as we move on is that the map changes on a daily basis in regards to what you're going to find and where you're going to find it. So if you have certain missions, control points, whatever it is that's your favorite, you definitely want to check this thing on a daily basis. Now, with that being said, the first option I'm going to be showing you is farming missions. Now, when it comes to missions, obviously, the harder the difficulty, the better chance of the item you may be looking for dropping. However, it can drop on any difficulty whatsoever. Now, for me personally, one of my favorite missions to run over and over is Lincoln Memorial for a few reasons. First of all, I can get through the thing pretty quick, typically in about 10 minutes. And secondly, you're going to face 4 named bosses before you clear the thing. And from my experience, the more named bosses you face, the better the chance you have of getting an exotic to drop. You'll also notice in this mission and the one you're about to see in a moment that the difficulty is set to challenging, and again, it's just to show you these can drop on any difficulty whatsoever. Now, in my opinion, when it comes to farming missions, you want to be as efficient as you can with your time. So let's say, for instance, it takes you 20 minutes or so to run through Lincoln Memorial on Heroic to get to those 4 named bosses. However, in that same amount of time, you may be able to run Lincoln Memorial twice on challenging, which means you're going to face twice as many named bosses. And even though it's on a lower difficulty, it does up your chances on getting the exotic you may be looking for. Now, my friends, we're going to make our way into the open world, and one of my favorite places to farm in the open world are heroic control points. Reason being is you face 2 named bosses before you clear the thing. However, again, any exotic can drop from any NPC at any time, so always keep that in mind. And it's important to also mention that this all boils down to luck sometimes. I mean, it's all RNG. I know people that farm on heroic, they get nothing. They switch to challenging, they get everything. I know other people that only farm on normal because that's the only place that, exotic seems to drop for them. And another reason I wanted to put this together is due to the fact that for many people in the game, they miss previous seasons. So in all of the seasons we've had, there's been guaranteed exotics that you can get during the seasonal reward track. And they were amazing ones like the Scorpio and Memento. However, those are now in the general loot pool, and these are the most efficient ways to try to get them. Now, with that being said, there also happen to be exotics which have never been guaranteed in this game. You can see right here in a second, I'm about to grab Lady Death. That's one a lot of people are still looking for. People are still looking for the chameleon. So again, what I like to show you are the different ways I've had success in getting these items. Now, my friends, we're going to make our way to the summit. Now, for those of you that want to really focus on targeted loot, this is a spot to hit. And the reason I saved it for last is for some people, they don't enjoy the summit gameplay for whatever reason. However, in this area, you can choose what you want anytime you want to look for it. So for so many gamers out there, this is the spot they hit over and over. Now, as we make our way to the summit, there are a few important things I want to mention. Again, this video is for new and returning players. First of all, the first thing you want to make sure you do is choose the targeted loot. And as you can see here, you can choose what your targeted loot is. And not only that, you can change what you're looking for at any time during your gameplay, which makes this, like I said, one of the most efficient ways to farm in the game. It's just a question if you like to farm in the summit or not, if you've had luck or if you've had better luck in the open world. Next, I'd like to talk about difficulty and directives. Now, as I said earlier, difficulty does have a direct impact on the quality of the loot you're going to get. Now, when it comes to directives, those impact the quantity of the type of loot you're looking for. So to give you an example, let's say you've chosen SMGs as your targeted loot in the summit. You're going through a floor, you take out a bunch of enemies. Now, the more directives you have active will mean that the more of the loot that drops should be an SMG. So again, it's better to have as many directives active as possible because that will increase the chances of an SMG dropping if that's what you're looking for. As you heard me say earlier in the video, you can get exotics anytime in the game. Now, I'm on normal difficulty. You can see here I clear floor 9 and I wind up getting Lady Death as a reward. Now, the SMG was my targeted loot, but again, clearly I didn't expect to get it at that moment, so always pay attention to any loot that you may get. And one of the main reasons I say that is I've heard from so many people they've done one of two things. They've accidentally deleted an exotic they were looking for the entire time. They didn't even realize it was in their inventory, or they've been farming and farming and farming and they realize, oh my God, it's actually been there the whole time. Something like you just saw happen. So always pay attention to your loot every time you're going in your inventory. Last but not least today, my friends, I want to talk about farming solo or farming in a group. Now, I've had really good luck farming solo. However, for a lot of people out there, that maybe hasn't been the case. So I always recommend using random matchmaking if you don't have an actual dedicated group and let the other players know exactly what you're looking for. So the footage you're looking at here is from a live stream I did a few days ago. I was helping subs get exotics in the game. You know, any exotic you can get in the summit. We wound up getting this person right here. We got him the bighorn. They'd been looking for it. And my day, like I was on fire. Like, you know how I talked about you're gonna have good days and bad days? This happened to have been one of those good days, one of those amazing sessions. You know, in the first hour and a half, I think I got like 6 exotics to drop. It was just absolutely insane. I think the first 3 named bosses dropped exotics, but again, it's also important to mention, I've also had days, if not weeks, where I cannot get an exotic to drop to save my life. It doesn't matter what I do. So again, my friends, keep that grind going. And when you're farming in a group, let people know what you're looking for. And one friendly reminder for new and returning players is anytime you use random matchmaking, you're in a group with people you don't know, do not leave at the end of the mission or control point or whatever it is you're doing right away. Stick around because there are so many times agents want to share things with you. And again, if you're not there to pick them up, chances are you won't get the item. With all that being said, my friends, I'm going to start to wrap this video up. Now, I will put a link to a farming method that I have in the summit that is by far the most efficient way to farm in the game, in my opinion. Now, a lot of you have asked me to do an updated version, so I'm going to leave a link and I'll be putting out a new version of the video probably within the next week or so. And I guess really to sum everything up, use every different option you have in regards to farming. One of the things that can happen in this game pretty often is we get burnt out from doing the same thing over and over and over again. So try the summit for a bit, try a mission, try a control point. I mean, I haven't even talked about bounties as yet, named enemies in the open world. Again, try out different things so you don't wind up driving yourself crazy. As most of you know by now, one of my favorite aspects about having the channel is the community we have here. We've built a toxic-free gaming environment, people working together. And on that note, if you have any ways you've had really good luck farming for exotics, please let me know in the description down below, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we possibly can. I also want to take a moment as always and thank you all for the amazing support of this channel, especially as we're currently, waiting for that new content to drop. Hopefully it'll be soon, and trust me, my friends, as soon as that stuff happens, I'll be bringing you more farming videos, news videos, pretty much everything. So again, thank you so much for being a part of this family. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. What do we have here? Nope, but thank you. Appreciate the offer. If anyone needs Sawyer's knee pads, scoop them up. If you want them for components, grab them too. Feel free, knock yourself out, my friend. Look at everyone focusing fire on Corporal Johnson. Lights out, buddy. You know it's bad when you can't even get a shot in because your whole crew has just got your back or your front. LMG, no way. First run? I can't see which one it is. I can't pick it up. Shit. Oh, it's because you're on the revive thing. All right, hang on. Okay, we don't have to clear the floor. Okay, I have to revive him in order to pick up the loot. So someone cover me for a sec. Which LMG is it? Oh, hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, yeah, we're time. We're good.